Alright, what you see here is a Hunter Brunswick ceiling fan. I got this from Aaron Tarzca almost 2 years ago now. This fan is these fans are major childhood fans for me, as back when I was a kid, when I first got the Home Depot catalog, me and my parents and well, my dad or my mom, whichever one, took me to Home Depot each trip. They had a Hunter brochure that you can open up into like a poster, and it showed all the special order Hunter models, and this was one of my favorite ones because I never really seen a ornate or a unique looking hugger fan like this one. Usually you see like a lot of fancy looking fans like this that are on a down rod, but it's very rare to see something like this as a hugger fan, so I found it very interesting. It was also next to the a few of my favorite fans that was on that catalog. The Fantasy Flyer, the Low Profile 2, and the Baseball fan. Those were a few of my favorite fans. So the fact that I was like in the same, it was located next to the other ones on that, made it even more sentimental to me. They sold these fans up until around 2011, 2012, I think. I know they had been around in 2010, as they were still on the website. I think it was around, I think the last year they sold these was in 2011. However, I'm not sure if they still featured the Air Max motor, as this one actually has one on it. These did come in several finishes. I know they came in white, as there's an actual video of one on YouTube in a white finish of some sort. It might be like a vanilla finish, I'm not sure, but there was one in like a white or an off-white finish. And I know there was like another finish that came in, but I don't remember. And then they had another one that was similar to this, but the switch housing was more integral. It didn't hang down as well as this one does. But it's definitely a very interesting fan. This one is actually from the 11th week of the year 2003, which is the exact same time that my white Hunter Low Profile 2 was made. So the fact that both of them are childhood fans from a catalog, and both were made around the same time, the exact same time, I find that very interesting. Or find it a pretty interesting coincidence. Now, this fan runs well, however, cosmetically it's not in the best shape. The finish is a bit scratched up, and some of the blades are pretty beat up as well. Two of them are pretty warped. That one right there, it's warped pretty badly, as you can see. And the other one behind it's somewhat warped as well. Oh no, the one that's in front of me is somewhat warped as well. So the fan does wobble quite a bit. However, the fan does function fine. The only thing is, if it was on reverse, it wobbles even more, obviously. But the fan moves a pretty good amount of air. And let me go ahead and show it with the light. It had two very long pull chains on it when I got it, which I'm pretty sure they came with when Aaron got it. However, I took them off just because, one, they were actually anti-grass pull chains of some sort, and I figured maybe just keep it without the chains just to make it look more appealing. Well, that and they were really long, so I figured maybe just keep it without the chains, since I know these didn't come with pull chains around this time. Maybe around the late 2000s they might have, but I know when this one came it wouldn't have had pull chains, so I figured how it would have came from factory. Definitely needs a nice appealing fan. Let me shut off the lighting around me. I'm using two lights behind me from the track lighting thing because fan's a very dark finish, so and down here wouldn't show up as well with just one. So I want to make the finish show up more. But yeah, it's definitely gives off good lighting. It's 3 lights. All 3 of them lights, LED light bulbs, are the same. They're all 60-watt ones. So yeah. And also, I figured I'd show this, the Hunter logo right up there. Well, it was a very interesting fan. Usually, basically the only Hunter fans they had to offer back then that were huggers were the low profiles. I felt like it was a very interesting design they had to offer as a hugger fan besides the low profile. Nowadays, they have a ton of hugger fans. Some of them are low profiles, and some of them are like modernish looking fans. I don't want other companies sell somewhere that has similar models to them and such. But yeah, let me go ahead and start the fan off on low. I just want to be sure it's on downdraft. I tested it before putting it up just to see if it would hit against the housing on reverse. It's definitely a fan I consider installing somewhere. The only thing is with the blades being so beat up like they are, and being a few of them being badly warped, I wouldn't install it due to the condition it's in. However, if I found better blades that are in better shape for this fan, then that's a different story. The finish on it's not. The finish isn't what's really beat up. It's mostly the blades that are really beat up. But I mean, if you look, unless you look really closely at it, you can see it's a little bit scratched here and there, but it's nothing major. It's mostly the blades that are really beat up. It's definitely something I consider for an office or like a formal living room of some sort. And the blade arms aren't really out of alignment. It's really the blades that are making it like that, make it seem like they're out of clock, but it's really so the blade arms are in pretty good alignment. It's just the blades that are warped badly, which I'm not sure how they warped like this. I don't know where they were installed before, but they got like this somehow. Maybe it was like uninstalled for a while, and maybe it was weighing against a certain way, and it caused it to bend warp a certain way. That might be what happened. I'm not 100% sure, but they ended up like this. So yeah. Fan gives off a nice gentle low speed to it. It's actually also my first Air Max fan I'm testing down here. I do have another Air Max 100 fan on this Passport 3, but it's the first time I'm testing an Air Max one down here. It's definitely something I can see like in a very fancy restaurant. I think it would definitely be very fitting. And they do, as many of you know, they do sell another model under the Brunswick name. But I've always liked it. Well, I do like this one more just because for childhood reasons, but I do really like the newer one as well. And I do remember these being somewhat expensive back when they were being sold. I think they were like $250, which kind of explains why you don't see them pop up as much. Compared to, well, a lot of the 2000 Hunters, their special orders don't show up that much compared to like the ones for the 90s, or certain ones for the 90s, that is. But, I mean, being a $250 fan, that's a hugger fan. Usually people who have lower ceilings tend to go for a cheaper option. That's just something I've noticed. Like, they'll go for, like, just a box, like a home center fan, if it's for low ceilings, rather than spending $250 for one if it's on a lower ceiling. Just something I've noticed. Not always the case, but it's very rare that you'd see something that's more a pricier fan on this place that has lower ceilings due to the fact that a lot of people tend to be afraid of them damaging it, so they'd rather, due to it hanging so low, if they hit it with something, so they usually rather would. Something I've noticed people would rather spend a little bit less on a fan if they put on a low ceiling, so in case they damage it, it's not a huge loss. Yeah, let me go ahead and show off the light. I kind of feel like the walnut suits the fan a little bit better than the rosewood, but it really does depend on the decor. I feel like the walnut suits the new bronze finish on it a little bit better. Also, I can just see, like, if I was to see this installed somewhere with the new bronze finish, I could see it having a lot of, like, furniture that had, like, a walnut finish of some sort, compared to rosewood. Not to say that it wouldn't match in a spot that it wouldn't look as good as the rose. I think it looks really nice with it as well. But it really does depend where you have it installed. yeah, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with those blades. I mean, obviously I'm gonna keep it, but like I don't know what I'm gonna do to fix them or repair them so that it won't be like this. But it's not being installed anywhere, so unless I find better blades, I might install it when I get my own place. Who knows? Definitely a fan. I really do think it's really nice looking, so it's definitely nice enough for me to install appearance wise. But yeah, what I just mostly like about this fan, especially from when I was a kid, is that it's a very elegant looking fan and it's a hugger fan. So to find a very elegant looking fan that's a hugger is very something that even to this day you don't really see often. Or even back like in the 80s, you don't see too many elegant hugger fans. So it's something that I think makes this fan stand out more, since usually you'll find something of this style on a downrod rather than it being a hugger. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and move it up to medium. Yeah, when Aaron tested it, one of the hooks, the rubber or the padding on it was worn out, so he had to hold it when he tested it in the high speed. I did fix that on this. I swapped it out with one of the ones from my low profiles just for the testing purposes. It could be fixed, like, but I could have just taped it with like a lot of electrical tape. However, not only did that padding on the hook wear out, but the hook itself, where the padding was, actually broke a little bit as well. So I felt it was just better to just swap it out completely just to be on the safe side. Gives off a good breeze on medium. Fan is very quiet. It's not making any humming noise at all. Yeah, I'm really I really do feel this would look really nice, like in a classic or like an old fashioned Italian restaurant of some sort. Something that's like very fancy. That has somewhat lower ceilings, I guess. It's definitely very elegant fan. Definitely could go good like in a library type room in a house as well, like like an office. Sorry, where I would install this as an office or some. Depends on like if the place I move in, like wherever I move into at some point in the future, if the office area that I want to use is like already dated looking, or if it's like somewhat modernized. That would depend. That would um play a big decision in what I put there. But who knows what the future holds? So yeah. Sorry about that. Phone just ran out of space. I had to clear space just to keep filming. But I forgot what I was gonna say. But yeah, something. Oh, what I was gonna say is that I'm surprised that um a lot of restaurants. I guess you didn't see a lot of these in restaurants. I do feel that It's just something that I could see like in a lot of restaurants. Kind of like how you see like a lot people tend to see a lot of originals in restaurants and such. Oh, not so many of them anymore, but yeah. So we'll go ahead and move the fan up to the high speed. Yeah, it definitely does have quite a bit of wobble to it still. Oh, it doesn't hit the motor housing thankfully, so that at least it doesn't do that. But yeah, if I was to install it, I would definitely not have it installed with these blades. I'd probably, or unless I could like, I'd probably have it. Unless I had the rows of blades facing down, I was able to get it so they're not so warped. Then I consider installing it at some place in the future. But with the way it wobbles, there's no way I would install it like this. I already know there'd be a lot of people afraid to walk underneath with it wobbling so much. And this amount of wobble would definitely kind of get on my nerves after a while. Especially seeing how out of clock the blades are due to them being warped, that would definitely. I don't have a friend's blades are a bit out of alignment if I'm having installed, but when they're like this when they're this out of alignment, then it's a different story. I just feel like it makes it look like it's in bad shape. That's just me, though. What I'm going to probably do is after I take it down, is put them at the bottom of where I keep my blades. That way, hopefully the blades won't be as warped, and maybe by next time I put it up for testing or something, it will be in a lot better shape. Alright, I'm bringing up close to the movement. Alright, now for spin down. Now this fan does have an Air Max motor, as I stated earlier in the video. Now for the air movement, I can't say it's like a lot more than a regular spinner motor Hunter fan would move, but it definitely does move a little bit more, I'm noticing. And even that is even with the fact that 2 out of the 5 blades are pretty badly warped. So the fact that they're not warped and it still moves this amount of air, I'm actually pretty impressed. I do like the fact that the Air Max motor, like the skeletal design on it, is visible from like it's outside. It kind of is visible outside of the motor housing. That I do feel like it complements the rib design on the motor housing. And I do feel that if these weren't that expensive like they were back then, I feel like these would have sold a little bit more. I never seen any of these as a kid in person. I always just saw them in the catalogs, but I always felt like that they were a bit pricey for being a Hugger fan. But at the same time, they are an elegant looking fan, so I do know a lot of fan companies tend to sell like the higher or like the more elegant looking fans like these at a higher price. Yeah. I think I just wait for it to stop spinning because I feel like if I was trying to reverse it, I would probably have it scrape against the motor housing. That would affect the spin down. Right now for reverse medium. All right, now for reverse high. It's definitely wobbling more on reverse, so I definitely don't want to keep it on reverse for too long. Doesn't look as bad on camera, but in person, it definitely is wobbling pretty badly on reverse. Yeah, that'll be it for this video. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for more videos to come.